And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Women's Liberation Radio News, WLRN, your home on the internet and on the podcast I'm echoing, your home on the internet and on the podcast for everything related to what is going on in women and feminism today in America. So we have a special broadcast for you today. We'll be coming to you live from Columbia, South Carolina. We have a group of women who are ready to demonstrate and express their free speech for women. So they are all in position and ready to go. So we're going to just get right over to them. It's a little bit tricky because we can hear them, but they can't hear us. So we just have to use hand signals and hope that they are queued up to start. But I can see that they are all ready to go. So we are going to switch over to them right
My mic
now.
is muted. Okay. Can you
Yep,
hear me?
okay, there. Yep, now we got you. Yep, we've got
Okay.
you. And
Are we live?
yep, we are live. And I'm going
Oh,
to
great.
full screen. I'm switching to full screen right
Okay,
now.
so they're live. I didn't realize that.
Nope, no, you no,
All
we
right.
just joined in. We just joined. We didn't lose you at all.
So we're
It was a good.
trying this megaphone and the mic. We're gonna see how that works for us. All right, we're here today in sunny, hot Columbia, South Carolina. There's a few people around, but we're at a park. So my goal today and for these events at first is to mostly gather women and show everybody how we do these things. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can meet you where you are and get you started, get you organizing and speaking out in your communities. So I'm going to start out reading a little bit, and then we're going to go along and let our speakers speak. Who would like to go first after I'm done? We'll go with you. We're going with you. All right. So women are gathering across the nation so that our voices might be heard. We are suppressed on social media and villainized in mainstream media. Let women speak, and we're not asking. These free speech for women events are just getting started. This is our call to you, woman. This is our call to arms. We are ready. We are readying the troops, and we are in it for the long haul. We will not sit back and watch our communities be destroyed and our children's future obliterated. I worked my whole life to find my voice, and now that I have, I refuse to be silent ever again. We are here to inspire you, woman. Hear our voices. Organize in your city. Women are here to help you along the way. So please organize in your city. And we're going to talk. Okay. And we're going to talk to Victoria now. She's going to, Vanessa, sorry. Why did I have Victoria? Sorry, this is Vanessa. She's going to have a little speech for you. So if you want to, take this. And that's good. Sure. So, alrighty.
So hello, my name is Vanessa. This is my sign. Children can't consent to be sterile. I'm here today to talk about a destructive ideology that targets vulnerable people of all ages, sexes, and orientations. It promotes body disfigurement and medical self-harm. It's based on a lie. Humans are mammals. Sex is binary and it cannot change in mammals. So anybody who's talking to you about clownfish or something else isn't talking about humans. They're telling you either an outright lie or just trying to obfuscate and confuse you. Biologists and doctors know this, or they should, but our sciences, including medical science, have been infiltrated and captured by this ideology of transgenderism. Doctors and professors in med schools are afraid to speak plainly and truthfully about sex because they're afraid to be canceled and censured. Other doctors are fully captured by this ideology to the point that they will accept the word of a 3-year-old child that they are the opposite sex, which we know is impossible. And I don't care how many times you tell me otherwise. They'll put that child on a path of medical intervention, a highly invasive path. They will enable their self-harm. They will tell them lies. They will create a lifelong dependency on drugs and an unknown number of surgeries to help this child achieve an ideal of the opposite sex that can never be achieved. These are experimental surgeries. Many times they involve horrifying complications, fistulas, feces in fake vaginas, women who are peeing out of holes in their bodies that weren't supposed to be there, women who remove their breasts and have scars. We can argue about whether or not this is mutilation. It is certainly disfiguring. There's no way to say it's not disfiguring. And as a matter of fact, gross disfigurement appears in the definition of mutilation. So I'm just going to put that there. This ideology has been percolating behind the scenes for decades. And that is why it's been allowed to take over our institutions to the extent that it has. We might want to be nice to people who have gender dysphoria. We might want to be nice to men who have autogynephilia. Most of the time, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. But I have some sympathy occasionally with men who have autogynephilia. Autogynephilia is real. I knew it was real the first time. I didn't even know the word. But I saw a man walking down the street in San Francisco, clearly male, no shirt on, with breasts that I knew weren't implants because they moved too much. He was walking down the street, doing his chest back and forth with the biggest smile on his face. And I said, wow, this man is really proud of those boobs. He doesn't want us to not know that he's a man because in every other respect he looks like one, but he wants us to know about those boobs. Yeah. Anyhow, the time to sit back and let this happen is over. People who have doubts about what they're hearing regarding transgender ideology need to understand that this medical industry assisted self-harm is not going to go away on its own. I fear it may never go away entirely. But we have to start talking about what the truth is with regard to biological sex and with regard to what children can know about themselves to be true. We need to bring back safeguarding of children and stop enabling the people who want to cause them harm. Now, this doesn't only apply to children, it applies to adults as well. There are many vulnerable adults out there with gender dysphoria, autism, other conditions who are susceptible to this ideology, and this ideology will prey on them. That's what it does. It is a predatory ideology. I've had enough of it. I'm so glad to be here today and to have finally met some people, some women who agree with me, and even an occasional man. Most men seem to not pay very much attention to it. They get perhaps a little bit upset about the idea of men in women's sports, but they think it ends there. It does not end there. Conservatives need to wake up and start paying attention to this. There are people within your own ranks who will accept transgender ideology, who will accept the transitioning of their children and grandchildren and put them on a path to lifelong medical intervention because they fear having a homosexual child. Gender ideology is a homophobic ideology. So I think that's what I came here to say today, and I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin.
Yay, thank you. Thank you for speaking for women.
Thank you.
Hi. Here, let's try to be here today. Oh, hold on. Let's get you the mic. Sorry. Here, put this on your side. I think that should be good. Okay, sorry about that.
So full disclosure, I am a former lifelong Democrat and now politically homeless liberal. But I'm not here to tell you that your feminism is wrong if you vote GOP to protect Title IX or the safeguarding of women's prison and refuges. And I'm not here to tell you that your feminism is wrong if you vote Democrat to protect abortion rights. Women face an impossible choice. Neither party is on our side. But there is one woman who has been fighting this fight long before many of us would. Katyjean.
Woo, Kara!
Yes,
Yeah!
Kara. I'm here to propose something a little radical. I think any woman or American who stands against the bipartisan assault on women's rights and the pharmaceutical predation of children should write in Katyjean to one of their US Senate or House seats in a campaign that could reach every state across the country. Let Democrats and Republicans know that we will not vote for the destruction of our rights. Tell them we do not want Title IX recodified. We do not want our bodily autonomy revoked. We do not want males in female sport, and we do not want men, especially rapists and violent murderers, in women's prison. We do not want to be gaslit out of material reality, and we do not want to be redefined into regressive gender roles, sexist stereotypes, or an idea in a man's head. A woman is an adult human female. We do not want our children sterilized and mutilated for pharmaceutical profit. I've seen that show before. I watched my brother get medicalized to death, prescribed opioids at 16 after a spinal injury, and dead at age 20 from legal prescriptions. I watched my grandfather beg his doctors with fists full of empty pill bottles to stop killing his grandson. I'm not going to sit silent and be bullied quiet while pharma finds a new way to prey on children for profit. Sweden, Finland, France, and Norway have all heavily restricted or banned medicalization for minors, and the US is doubling down and reducing age. Blackmailing states for poor children's lunch money if they don't allow males in female sport or for children to be medicalized. Emotionally blackmailing parents, telling them that their child could commit suicide if they are not medicalized when there is no data to support this. It hasn't been thoroughly debunked. The Dutch said suicide risk stays the same at nearly every stage of transition. The only long-term studies show surgery likely increases the risk of suicide, as well as recent data on the affirmation model. At the very least, it does not mitigate it. Women are 51% of the vote. We will be heard.
Woo! We will be heard.
I'm not naive. We're not going to get 51%. But the last series of election cycles prove that just a few thousand votes can change an election. Make them work for our vote in 2024 and write in Katyjean. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you.
Yes.
That's powerful stuff. Thanks so
Thank you.
much. Let me get.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Everyone forgets. I see. I'm feeling Katyjean. Katyjean. I love you, Katyjean. Kelly. Kelly J is what I was trying to say. Okay. Am I still? Sorry. All right. Ooh, too close. Oh, here you go. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So I have a little write-up from it's not little, it's actually huge, this issue. But I have a write-up from California on the women's prisons. And they really need your help. They really need women who are out here and have voices to speak up for them, because their voices aren't being heard. I can't believe that people are ignoring this issue. At least it feels that way. I'm sure it does for many of you. So from California, this issue affects women the world over of all socioeconomic status. I'd like to take a moment to address the fact that there are women in prisons, women whose rights have been taken away, who, due to self-identification laws and individual state policy, are being housed with men. This is happening right now. The ACLU of New Jersey and attorney Robin Geigel, maybe, of Gluck Walrath LLP sued the New Jersey Department of Corrections and its officers in August 2019 on behalf of a trans woman who went by the pseudonym Sonia Doe in court documents. Since this incident, 2 inmates that we know of became pregnant due to a man being housed in a women's prison. It's worth noting that consensual sex between inmates is prohibited in the state. Women in the free world, we have options, we have voices, and we can make choices. We must use our rights to advocate for our sisters who do not. Our incarcerated sisters are depending on women like us to use the rights we do have to stop legislators from excluding them from the most basic human rights. What we let happen to incarcerated women is contributing to our own erasure. What we allow is what will continue. Thank you, from California. All right, and now we have Zofia. She's 12 years old, and she has a lot to say on this issue.
Women unite!
Woo! Youngins! Whatever you want.
Okay.
Say what you want. You
I'll
can
do
talk
both.
about the abortion issue. That's one we're facing right now.
Okay. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
That's fine.
Hold on, give me a second. First, I just want to talk about like trans in my school, and then I have stuff written down for abortion rights, if that's okay. First off, I would just like to say there are at least like 4 kids I know of for sure that identify as trans. One of them used to be my friend. She goes by he. I'm not gonna say any names for reasons. So she goes by he, and she also says that she is gay because she is a trans mask. So that's really all I have to say about that. Also, I just don't want boys to be able to go into girls' restrooms. I mean, I've already seen it happen, not trans boys, but just boys being snoops. But for abortion, I have like a few things written down, more than a few, that I probably won't say all of them. But may I just start with, for abortion, if you think that it's just easy to put a kid into foster care, if you have an unwanted pregnancy and you think it's better than killing a fetus that doesn't really have any emotion, just listen to the facts. More than 250,000 children are placed in foster care in the United States every year. Yet, in the United States, about 20,000 youth exit foster care and are left to fend for themselves each year. After reaching the age of 18, 20% of children who are in foster care will become instantly homeless. There's less than a 3% chance for children who have aged out of foster care to earn a college degree at any point in their life. And despite all of this, 70% of foster care children regularly say that they would like to attend college one day. The percent of children who age out of the system and still suffer from the direct effects of PTSD, 25%. Tens of thousands of children in the foster care system were taken away from their parents after extreme abuse. 7 out of 10 girls who age out of the foster care system will become pregnant before the age of 21. Although no more than 2% of Americans have actually adopted, more than 1/3 have considered as in not adopted. Many foster care children are adopted, but thousands remain in the system anticipating their adoption. Each year, almost 1 million kids suffer from abuse or neglect. Only a fraction of these, only around 100,000, get reported. Hold on. Only 3.1 million children received preservation and post-response services. 124,360 children received foster care services. 470,297 victims, which is 74.9%, are neglected. 101,961 victims, 17.5%, are physically abused, and 57,963 victims, 99.3% are sexually abused, and likely much more that were unreported. And then I have things under that. Offenders of sexual violence are less likely to go to jail or prison than any other criminals. Only 230 out of 1,000 sexual assaults are reported to the police, and that means about 3 out of 4 go unreported. I'm sorry. In 2012, there were approximately 679,000 instances of confirmed child maltreatment from the over 3 million reports generated. The overall national child victim rate was 9.2 child victims per 1,000 children in the U.S. population. And 1 out of 2 kids who age out of the system will develop a substance dependence, and children who are adopted make up over 10% of total referrals for child therapy. 33% of children had changed elementary schools 5 or more times, causing them to fall behind academically and lose friends that they had made in the process. And also, although trans women make up about, this is trans again, I'm sorry. Trans women make up about 1% of the 3,600 female jail population. They are to blame for 5.6% of sexual assaults there. I don't know what else.
Bring it back around. Bring it back around. That's yours. This is mine.
Yes. I don't know. I feel like that was all over the place. So
No, you spoke on abortion and then you rounded it off with the gender stuff, which is what I just spoke about, the women in prison and what's happening with them. So thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. All right. Sorry about that. All right. And I'm going to speak a little bit on abortion too, because this, is an issue that we can't ignore that's happening right here in our country. And the fact is that the Democrats are dangling abortion over our heads for votes as they erase us from law, policy, science, and medicine. This is inhumane. To quote the phenomenal RGB, the decision whether or not to bear a child is central to a woman's life, to her well-being and dignity. It is a decision she must make for herself. When government controls that decision for her, she is being treated as less than a fully adult human responsible for her own choices. Every woman should have the option to become a mother or not should she become pregnant. It is one of the biggest, most personal choices a woman can make. Abortion should simply be part of our basic medical care. Oh, sorry, I forgot I had a thing, but I left it. Can you grab? Never mind. I have some more information for you. I'll get that at the end. But you can go to plancpills.org for more information, access to safe abortion care, private safe abortion care. And did anybody else have any other remarks they wanted to say?
I sort of want to talk about the fascistic nature of the Democratic Party right now.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and here we'll let you speak.
I'm pulling it. I'm pulling it from something I wrote.
All right. So
I do think it's based on Biden.
we're gonna let Caitlin.
Pot called the kettle fascist.
Caitlin speak again, and then I will have some closing remarks if nobody else. Did you want to speak again? Oh, Sophia wanted to speak again. Okay, so we're gonna go to Caitlin. Yeah. We have a small group here today, but we're getting the word out and showing you how it's done.
On Thursday evening, the pot called the kettle fascist. Biden's speech in Philadelphia was peak Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. I will not take credit for that analogy. That is pulled from Karadanski's brilliant essay about how gender ideology industry is a narcissistic abuser. I encourage everyone to read it. I've read it several times. It's brilliant. I want to ask anyone who disagrees with me to consider which party's constituents are afraid to speak their mind. Which party's constituents are afraid to utter truth? It's not Republicans who are afraid to say that a man cannot get pregnant. It's not Republicans who are afraid to talk about biological reality. It's the party of science. The left's pervasive self-censorship in the face of compelled speech should send chills down every liberal's spine. But the backlash is so swift and severe that seldom few even show it. We do not destroy the heretic because he resists us. So long as he resists us, we can never destroy him. We convert him, we capture his inner mind, we reshape him. George Orwell. I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in New York and California. SB 107 is perhaps the most predatory government overreach I have ever seen in my life, and a complete violation of constitutional law in the guise of sanctuary statehood, where California will make your child a ward of the state if you do not want them to get gender affirming surgery. And that is for every child across the country, not just children in California. They are coming for your kids. In New York, they're currently passing New York Assembly Bill 7001, which is erasing the last vestiges of safeguards for women in prison, in spite of the fact that mere months ago, a convicted serial killer of women gained access to a women's refuge, murdered a woman, was caught wheeling around her dismembered leg, and is now being housed with women as he awaits trial. You should read about Harvey. In all of the publications I've read, there's no mention of his sex at all, and he's only referred to as a woman. It's unconscionable that women are being blamed for male violence against women. Someone should tell the party of Women's Lib that women are not human shields for male violence. Thank you.
Amen to that. You're not your shields. Okay. All right, so let me get myself clipped here. I just want to bring this up to the screen real quick. If anybody wants to, I don't know if it'll focus, but if you want some more information on Plan C pills, you could scan the code. You can go to their website and get more information. Please share this information far and wide so that women know their options, all of their options. All right. So I'm going to say some closing remarks, and then Zophia's going to finish us off. Does that sound good? Did you have anything else to say? Okay. So we're a small group here today, but like I said, we're here to show you how it's done. I have a camera. I have my megaphone, got a few women, some posters, a little mic, and we're speaking. We're making our own media. We're going to let our voices be heard. They will not shut us up. We are here, and we're going to, okay. And we're going to win this. We have to. Okay. So in closing, it is crucial that you come out in this fight. There's power in numbers, women, and our numbers are growing. The world needs you. Women and girls, gender nonconforming young people, autistic and LGB need you to be strong and let your voices be heard, woman. It's heartbreaking when those you thought would always have your back leave you standing alone. I know, I've been there. But you don't have to be alone. We are here to stand with you, woman. You know we are not here because of hate. We are here because of love. For women, children, and the possibility of a brighter future for humanity. Let us stand together. Let our voices rise and become louder, louder, louder. We will win because we must win. Thank you. Do you want to finish us off? Zophia's going to just say a few words.
I'm going to say 2 words.
All right, go ahead. Finish us off. Thank you.
I would just like to end us off with saying, you don't have to like us, but you will remember us.
Yeah! Woo! You will be heard and you will remember us. All right, I cannot hear Katyjean, so that's our closing. I hope you all enjoyed our speaker's corner. And, oh, I can't be in front of the speaker. And we will see you later. We're gonna go sticker some stuff, chalk some stuff, and chit chat and enjoy some turf company. Love you all, and I'll see you around social media. All right, have a good one.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome, women. Well done. We are clapping and cheering for you all over the country and all over the world. We heard from Australia. We heard from the UK. I'm going to put them on mute. I realized my microphone was hot the whole time, so I was just sitting there quietly. So I hope that wasn't too intrusive. Nobody complained to me, so that's good. Um, anyway, women, just wanted to reinforce what Alex was saying in terms of how we want you to take this into your own hands and organize these events at in a city near you. I'm gonna pop over here real quick and show you over here. There is a website. It's femaxnews.com/free speech for women. And if you go to this website, you will see, oops, whoop, go away. Sorry. So on this website, there are instructions for everything that you need to know for how to run an event like this in your, oh my gosh, I'm in a audio loop. Sorry about that. I don't know how to turn it off. This has happened to Posey too. I know that it's happened to her, so I don't feel that bad. Okay, anyway, I think I've dealt with it. Anyway, so what I would like to show you is, nope, I still haven't dealt with it. I must have 10 million windows open and they're all playing. Okay. So anyway, what a great speaker's corner, and then I'm fumbling it up. But okay, here we go. So we have instructions on this website. Again, it's at femaxnews.com/free speech for women, and it will be everything that you need to know to organize an event near you. And then once you've done that, be in touch with us, with our team, and we will help you, and we will get you into what we are doing here with broadcasting them online on Women's Liberation Radio News. And Amy Souza, Known Heretic, she's also been helping out with the team. So if you want to get tapped into us, we're inviting you to come in and join us and be part of what we're doing. So organize an event near you. It only takes 4 women. This is a free speech for women movement, and we want you to join in with what we're doing. One thing that I wanted to address as well is there was a question, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen right here, is how do you think that we were able to do this in South Carolina without interference? And the reason is because for a little context, if you joined us earlier this morning, we were in Madison, Wisconsin, and you can check that link out at femaxnews.com/mad in Madison, and that's the permanent link to that. So you can see what happened in Madison this morning, where there were a bunch of activists, anti-women activists that were crowding over their event. They were noise canceling them. They were being rude and obnoxious and denying these women their right to free speech. And so why did that happen in Madison? And we've seen that happen in Chicago, and we've seen that happen in Milwaukee, and we saw it happen in Port Townsend. And yet we didn't see it happen in South Carolina, both in Columbia, South Carolina, and in Charleston, South Carolina. We've had 2 peaceful events where the women were able to speak and not be interrupted. And we have had peaceful ones in Chicago too. So my answer to that is that I think that in certain areas, there are the people that are against us are paying attention to what we're doing, and they're more like following us, just like somebody would follow us that's in favor of us. They're also following us. And so they're kind of like on top of our events. And so, but there isn't like that kind of pocket of people that have decided to follow what we're doing in all cities. So what we say to that is how we overcome it is to be planning lots of events in lots of cities all over the place, doing lots of things so that they won't be able to keep up with us. And we need more women. We need more women to stand up locally with the women near you, organize, get the women together, and do an event just like they did down there in Columbia, South Carolina. And then we will get it up on the airwaves and do this together. So that's how great it can go. Congratulations to the women in Columbia that put that together, especially Alex and her whole team, everybody that helped out. We got to hear from an adolescent girl, so that was wonderful too, to hear what's happening in schools from a student herself. And it was just really a great event. So with that, I'm going to close off for now. Oh, before I do that, I want to give you the schedule of events that are coming up. You can join us on Friday in Pittsburgh. So Jay Thomas and her team will be on the ground in Pittsburgh on Friday. And if you can get to Pittsburgh by Friday and you want to be part of the team, then please reach out to us and get connected. And then also the following Saturday on the 17th, September 17th in Jacksonville, Florida. So if you can get to Jacksonville, Florida, that would be tap into our team and we'll get you hooked up with the women in Jacksonville as well. So with that, just hope everyone has a wonderful Women's Labor Day. Thank you so much for joining us on WLRN, and we will see you next time. Stay strong in the struggle, women.